Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, I'm out and about again today on my way to the supermarket to buy milk. Now, I have to say that for those of you who listen to this podcast regularly, you'll know that we've had a lot of snow in the last few days. The snow's all gone now, the weather's much milder, but it's still very cold. It's not far above zero. And I'm just doing a few things while the weather's nice. I'm just looking further down the street here. I'm going to describe it for you, but I can see one of my neighbours coming. Oh geez, I really hope she doesn't say hello to me. I'm not really in the mood for talking to any neighbours today. It's very insincere. You know, we say hello to each other, lovely, beautiful weather, but we both know we really hate each other. So I don't see the point, really. So let me just cross the road. Yeah, no, I won't have to talk to her. So, anyway, I'm just going to buy some milk and a few other things. So the road is clear of the snow, thankfully. Again, the great tarmac has returned, and the sun is shining, but still it's very bitterly cold. Everyone's wearing their heavy coats, hats, scarves and gloves, except the young people who are still dressed in shorts and t-shirts. Honestly, it's hard to believe there was a time when I would have done that. So the roofs are all clear as well. So let me start to describe the streets. Right, so there's cars parked of all shapes and sizes. Black, red, white and blue. I'm passing a little shopping arcade, which is to my left. There's a barber's, newsagents, tandoori takeaway, which is closed, butcher's, pharmacy, suntan shop. I think it's called a tanning shop, yes, where you can go for a quick suntan. I didn't think they were allowed anymore. I thought they told us they cause cancer, and maybe that's just if you use them too much. And then a place to have your hair cut, if you're a woman, a hairdresser. And then finally a grocer. So that's the shopping arcades. I'm just passing the entrance to a school here, and there's all kinds of signs telling the traffic to slow down. Not that stops them. Couple of bus stops as well. Buses whizzing past me. Cars and drives. On the street is all apartment blocks, but they're only 2 stories high. That's quite a common feature here. So rather than have a huge apartment block with, let's say, maybe 8 or 9 floors, here it's very common just to have 2, because we don't really have so many people. So this street is full of apartment blocks, but only 2 stories high, and there's no individual houses, although maybe a few of these have been bought by the same person and they've got permission to make an upstairs and downstairs. I say that because I can see, at least in one of them, the windows are identical, so are the curtains. So I'm assuming it's the same people, or maybe just the same landlord. Maybe that's possible as well. Yeah, a couple of very vicious dogs roaming around here today. There's a woman with 2 dogs. I'm not sure what kind of dogs they are, but I'm sure they're not very safe to have around kids because they look really vicious. And I've heard in the news recently that certain breeds of dogs have been banned. Oh, what's this? Marketing Solutions. I don't know what that is. Isn't it strange now that you can pass vans and trucks you can look once or twice and you've got no idea what they do despite the science. Something, what is it? Solutions, bespoke solutions. What does that even mean? Yeah, solutions for what? How to hang my washing out to dry? How to make good podcasts? Yeah, it's... Honestly, sometimes I think it's very difficult now, not just for me, but to work out what things mean, because they're either written so vaguely or in bad English. Yeah, what's this? Cars slow down, 20 miles per hour, drive carefully, make this road a safe route to school. Oh, well, that's good, isn't it? Although there's no sign of any kids here. I think they probably are around, because the Christmas holidays don't start, I think, until next week or the week after. The week before Christmas, I think. It's only 2 weeks away, isn't it? Okay, so directly ahead of me, I can see traffic lights, the busy main road, and there's a church steeple behind that. I don't know what church that is, but most of them are closed now, so it's probably being converted into something else. There's also a gym, another coffee shop, and right at the very end here, there's luxury apartments, which are very modern with them. Oh, there's a sports car parked outside. I always see Indians coming and going from these apartments. Someone told me recently that they're actually let out, their Airbnb apartments, but maybe for tech workers, perhaps, I don't know. Yeah, and I had a phone call last night from my flight attendant friend. Yeah, this is my friend who's a flight attendant. In British English, we call them basically air stewards, or if it's women, air stewardesses, or air hostesses, air hosts. A flight attendant is the American and probably the description we all use these days. Yeah, so he rang me last night. Did you know that flight attendants, when they take off, they have to sit on their hands? Now, I didn't know this, because when you're on the plane, of course, you don't see the flight attendant because they're strapped in at the front, using different seatbelts, by the way, than ours. But apparently, my flight attendant friend was telling me that when they are sitting at the front, they have to sit on their hands. Now, I thought this was a bit odd, so I had a look on the internet, and it is true. We don't, but the attendants on any airline, they're advised to put their hands under their legs when they're taking off and landing, because this apparently is the brace position, at least for them anyway, so that they're least likely to be hurt if there's a problem with the aeroplane. But I mean, the way I see it is, if the aeroplane's going to explode, no one's safe. So that's what he told me anyway, that when they take off and land, they have to sit on their hands to make them the safest or the most protected on the plane. Well, that was a bit odd, but yeah. So, yeah, apparently that's true. It's something that they do. And yeah, I had a look, and that's actually true. Oh, there's another one of my neighbours coming. He's a tax inspector. He's a little bit odd. Yeah, he's... let me just say hello to him. Hello. He just ignored me. Yeah, you know, people here, they have a very distinct accent with the ow. It becomes oh, hello. Whereas me, I'm very English with a hello, with an ow sound. And a lot of locals here really don't like that. You know, they can detect Englishness, you know. Anyway, yeah, he is a bit odd. A very nice person. but no social skills at all, which is a bit strange. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just walking on the street here. I need to buy milk, as I was mentioning a moment ago, and I'm also going to go for coffee. I haven't been out the house since Saturday, so I really need to get out, take some exercise, a little walk, And I think Thursday I have to visit my healthcare team at the local clinic for my usual diabetes checkup. As I was telling you the other day, I have to visit the diabetes nurse. Now, it's interesting this, because in my last podcast, I think a few days ago, I was referring to her as my diabetic nurse. That's not really true, because she's not diabetic. I am. So I suppose I should call her with the correct adjective, the diabetes nurse, the nurse who looks after patients with diabetes. Having said that, with the size of her, gee, I'm surprised she's not got diabetes herself. But anyway, right, so I'm almost at the supermarket, so I better say goodbye. So that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll just quickly describe this car park before we finish. So, incredibly grey, completely contrasting against a blue sky, and some clouds in the distance. The abbey of the town, the steeple of that really is very imposing on the landscape. What else can I tell you? A beautiful blue sky, really lovely. God, more Christmas decorations. Honestly, I mean, I like Christmas, I really do, but it's just a little bit imposing after the 15th day, because they started with the Christmas decorations in shops. I think it was the 2nd of November, the 3rd. So it's been well over a month. I've been hearing Christmas music and everything else, and it's getting a bit tiring. But, 2 weeks it'll be finished, and then they'll start with the New Year celebrations. And then it'll be how depressing the last year's been, honestly. The media really do have quite an agenda there. Right, so, blue sky. Lots of little things sticking up in the landscape. So there's the Abbey, that's the biggest church in the place, in the town. There's the observatory. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another 6 steeples. At least one of them, I think, is the town hall. And there's a massive neon light advertising the local coffee shop as well. Oh, lots of seagulls diving. Someone's obviously given them food, or maybe dropped their shopping. And so you can probably hear them making noises there. Again, lots of signs warning us that there's children around, or to be careful of kids. And that's it. So, very much an industrial feel to where I am at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.